Welcome to the Great Sand Dunes, where our competitors are dogmatic about winning.
They'll stand their ground with distinct bison-timed features.
It takes the eye of the tiger to win.
And wise men say, don't dream of winning, train for it.
But most importantly, do not feed the animals.
Yeah, whatever. I didn't like reading from the cue cards. Hey, it's Richard Gere.
And this is Aaron Tate. First up, for semifinal number 3, is Arlo Racing, and Lando is a pup. Just a pup driving, and apparently has done quite well in his short career so far. However, things were a little sketchy after the time trials. Lando qualified number 37, but since then, in that Volvo, he has demonstrated a lot of speed and control. Next up, from dubious diecast, and this is in Oklahoma, Mr. Dark. Everyone knows Mr. Dark, and he showed up in Season 3, ready to do the first rallycross event we had. He's driving a Baja Bone Shaker, and he is the number 22 seed. He had to race against Triple B, who is the next competitor, as well as Sweet Caroline, the fourth one. Now we're looking at, from Cheap Thrills Racing, this is Triple B. And Triple B is driving a Hyper Rocker. He has raced in a couple of events on Chavano Mountain Raceway, and although he has not advanced to the finals, this is a wonderful opportunity, and he has a very fast car. Triple B is the number 10 seed, and he comes to us from Illinois. Now finally, Milestone Diecast in Kansas is bringing to us that beautiful 1966 Chevrolet Corvair. Normally, Dusty Miles is the driver, but this time we have Sweet Caroline, and she has looked very impressive in both the group races and the quarterfinals. Race fans, are you tracking?
I bet everyone is. The last semifinal is about to begin. Race 1 with Sweet Caroline, Lando, Triple B, and on the outside is Mr. Dark. And look at Sweet Caroline pull out in the lead here. Closest to us, here comes Lando, and Lando takes the lead over the dunes. A little bit of a rocking and rolling, and look at Sweet Caroline pull in front, but now Lando slips underneath. Mr. Dark's gonna cruise on by though, and he takes first. Triple B in second, Lando in third, and Sweet Caroline in fourth. No one is close enough to the train, we think. Here it comes, Billy around in the train.
Into the dunes, and Lando pulled out in the lead, but Sweet Caroline, she comes through and tries to sneak on by. Lando figures it out and pulls down low, takes the low line on the turn, but their tangle slowed them up enough that Mr. Dark and Triple B were able to come on through in first and second. Race fans, the first race is now in the books, and Mr. Dark leads with 4. Triple B and Lando have 3, and Sweet Caroline has 2. Sweet Caroline and Lando did land on their wheels.
Yep.
For an extra point.
That's right. So yeah, an extra point. If you're new to this, it's an extra point if you make the jump and land on your wheels. And if you hit and knock Billy's train off the rails, that's 2 extra points. We're looking at race 2, and Lando once again pulls out in the lead, first to the dunes. Triple B is right there outside of him, and Mr. Dark pulls ahead as they enter the pretzel turn. Now, Sweet Caroline is trying to pull ahead. Meanwhile, Arlo takes first. Triple B just went off the half pipe. Second place will go to Sweet Caroline, and look at the way she rolled up. She's in the lane of Billy's train. Ha ha! And that's going to be 2 extra points.
Over the dune section, all 4 were very close. And as we come up onto the pretzel turn, Mr. Dark pulls out in the lead over Sweet Caroline, but spins out, and Sweet Caroline tries to pull ahead. You'll see that Sweet Caroline manages to continue, but Mr. Dark gets stuck and tips over on his side. Now, unfortunately for Triple B, he just took an exit straight off, just like BLR did in the last race. Meanwhile, Sweet Caroline executed the jump perfectly, hits Billy's train, and gets 2 more points. Her score goes from 2 all the way up to 8, and is 1 point ahead of Lando with 7.
Well, you know the competition is tight. When every time these drivers get to the pretzel turn, they are tangling it up. Now, closest to us, Triple B and Mr. Dark. Triple B's looking okay, but Mr. Dark is falling behind. They both need to get scores, and they're actually falling behind right now, the top 2. Here comes Lando. What a beautiful run he has from the outside, and he comes screaming on through.
Whoa.
First place for him, second place for Sweet Caroline. Third place will go to Triple B, and on his wheels, the only one on his wheels is Mr. Dark.
Did you feel that Winnebago hit you?
No.
Lando hit our Winnebago after he took the jump.
Really? I didn't feel a thing.
Now you can see he's well ahead of the others. And Mr. Dark comes through in fourth. He'll need to get higher up than that if he wants to contend. Now watch here, Richard.
Oh, wow.
And don't you see you got hit?
I guess so. I thought you were patting me on the back.
Wow, you're not that good, Richard.
Thanks. Tell everybody the scores.
And the scores after the third race show Sweet Caroline and Lando tied at 11 after Lando takes a first place finish.
Yes, it's race 4, ladies and gentlemen. Lando is closest to us, then Triple B, Mr. Dark, and Sweet Caroline on the outside. Here we go. Looks like Lando got a nice quick jump off the line, and he is in the lead, holding his own, well ahead of the other 3 drivers right now. He's looking good around the pretzel turn. Triple B! Oh, I was going to say he was coming up quick. And now, Lando in first. Sweet Caroline will take second. Mr. Dark in third. And it looks like Sweet Caroline is not on her wheels.
No doubt Team Arlo is very happy. Lando at first was rather shaky in time trials, but holds together well through that little valley section. But you see what happened to Triple B after getting a little bit of air. Lando comes through with a beautiful sub-17 time, and Mr. Dark does manage to land on his wheels. But as we enter the halftime, Lando leads with 16, Sweet Caroline has 14, and Mr. Dark has 9. Let's now go to commercial break.
Race fans, beginning in February 2025, Gravity Throttle Racing and Chaos Canyon present the Gravity Chaos Rallycross event. We begin here at Chavano Mountain Raceway, and after the first half of racing is over, the cars will journey all the way to New Zealand for the newly constructed Possum Hill. Stay tuned.
Hey Richard, how do you think the drivers will do at Possum Hill?
I think it's going to be complete chaos. Hey, this is race 5, ladies and gentlemen. Here we go. On the inside here is Sweet Caroline, and she has got a slight lead now. Triple B pulls up, but Lando is... Oh, he was in the lead. Now he's backed off now. Triple B has crashed. Wow, this is quite a turn of events, and I like what I see here with Sweet Caroline, but Lando is going to pull out ahead and take first. He lands on his wheel. Sweet Caroline does not. Where is Mr. Dark?
Well, Triple B is here, but Mr. Dark was caught at the exit of the pretzel turn. Now take a look here as Triple B catches an edge of some sort and flips over. Now that slows Mr. Dark down, but here's what happened. He just had a rough go on the exit and found himself wheels off the trail. Sweet Caroline did look sweet until Lando decided to give a lick to the face and come right on through ahead. Lando, with 4 points plus 1 for landing on his wheels, has a 4-point lead. I almost said 5, but a 4-point lead over Sweet Caroline. It looks like these two are going to be putting up a battle.
Indeed. I think after that race 5 conclusion, it's going to be impossible for Mr. Dark and for Triple B to catch up. They're on the outside 2 lanes. Keep an eye on them, but really, right now, Sweet Caroline must stay ahead of Lando, and she is. Sweet Caroline looks good on the inside here. And here comes Mr. Dark. He is looking quite strong and flying ahead of Sweet Caroline. And Triple B even pulls on through. I believe Triple B took second. And here comes Lando in fourth.
Well, race fans, Mr. Dark leads the way as they charge on through the pretzel turn, but keep your eyes on Lando rather. Lando spins backwards, but here is the key point. Lando gains control of his car, and what would have been a DNF, as the others come through, watch Triple B. Triple B is going to bump into Sweet Caroline and definitely come into second place. That was a great maneuver. But Lando manages to come through and land on his wheels. That is 2 points, which equals Sweet Caroline, and he continues to lead by 4.
That's a great example, Aaron, of the power of not DNFing. He finished the race, he collected 2 points, and he got a little help, though, from... Was it Triple B? Triple B pushing on ahead of Sweet Caroline. This is race number 7. Look at how close they all are. Lando has a slight lead now, and he's on the inside. Look at the way the big... Oh, Triple B, nicely done. Is Triple B going to catch Lando? No. Oh, no, he won't. Ooh, ow! Wow, what a finish. That looked like some WWF wrestling.
Hey, Richard, check this out. I got some new sound effects from a friend. Watch when Sweet Caroline body slams Triple B. Finish him!
Oh, that's silly.
Fatality.
Aaron, you can't use that sound effect.
Well, how come? My friend gave it to me. In fact, he's gonna come and visit and bring his other friend.
What? Do you know who this friend is?
Yeah, it's like R2-D2 and C-3PO. They both have numbers in their name.
I don't believe you one bit there, Aaron. Just don't hit those buttons again. I don't want to get us in trouble. Tell everybody the score.
Okay. Lando has 27 points. He is now 6 points ahead of Sweet Caroline, whose only option to catch up is to hit Billy's train.
That's right, thank you.
By the way, my friends are coming over and your mother is flying them here.
Oh, gosh. Aaron, hang on. It's the last race. I've got to commentate this race. All right, folks. Sweet Caroline is on the outside lane, and she is in the lead. But basically, she's going to have to finish, and something disastrous will have to happen to Lando, and it's not looking like that's going to happen. Lando, does pull around, but he's blocking. Oh, no. There's a crash between the other two drivers. Lando is going to come through it first. Sweet Caroline will have to settle for second, and Billy's train does not get hit. Now, okay, Aaron, when did you talk to my mother, Portia, about flying
race fans,
these two friends?
I'll tell you all about their travel plans later.
No way.
Take a look as Triple B and Mr. Dark get smashed together like an Oreo cookie. Meanwhile, Lando is first onto the half pipe and comes through with another first-place finish. Ladies and gentlemen, Lando is going to move on to the finals, and Sweet Caroline, unfortunately, is 2 points shy of challenging Lone Star for the transfer spot.
Okay, you better not go anywhere, Aaron, because I got to talk to you about your friends. Race fans, Class A semifinals are over, and it is Lando with Arlo Racing that takes the final spot. We have 4 in the finals. Let's take this and spin it, because next time we see you will be the Sand Dunes Finals. We have Numbskull, Uncle Elvis, Lando, and Lone Star. I gotta go talk to my mother.
Are you tracking?